rock me, mama.
Here we are.
Welcome back.
Season 3, baby. This is Rock Me Mama. I'm Amy.
And I'm Macy. I wanted Bill to be able to, we should have discussed this beforehand, but you know, Eminem's song, Guess Who's Back? Back again.
Oh my God.
Just like a little like of that as we come into this.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that. How are you doing? It's been...
Well, today's like, honestly, I do have a big
you're not doing well.
Yeah, I have an announcement. I'm quitting motherhood.
An announcement.
I'm done. I quit.
Yeah.
I'm done. As of today, I'm officially I'm not a mom anymore.
A memoir. Is it okay if I quit?
Yeah, so this is my final episode of Rock Me Mama because it has rocked me to oblivion.
Is it just worse than normal because of like what? Because
Well,
Chase
we
is
haven't had any childcare because Eli and Wyatt and I were sick like 9 days ago. And then since Polly was traveling, she didn't want to be around us, understandably so.
Yeah, because you guys had stomach stuff. Like, I'll fuck with anything except for stomach stuff.
It was a virus. Yeah, I mean, it was for real. And so our normal Monday full day with her, because she does, E with Farrah half the day and then does Wyatt for like 2 to 3 hours in the afternoon. And then she does Wyatt Tuesday and Thursday for 3 hours. We didn't have any of that. Yeah. And so it was very, it's just been a lot of parenting. Yeah. And then we never have it on Friday. And then Chase got the virus. Yeah. And so I've just been coming off of a week of me being sick and then no childcare straight into Chase being sick. So me like double whammying. Yeah. Solo parenting. And I just kind of need a break. Yeah. I'm just really... Like, losing I don't shoot short fuse. Like, my patience is just at an all-time non-existent level. Rudy's being so cute.
I love little Rudy.
Do you have a story to tell us, Rudy?
Morgan is nursing little Rudy right now, and he's making little nursing noises.
Oh my gosh, listen to him.
He is. He's been gulping it down.
He's so sweet.
Right now, he's just squirming. So sorry, guys.
No, he's so cute.
We can have.
He'd love that titty, honey. He loved that titty.
He does.
He really
I went over there when I first walked in. I walked over and he was just suckling away, smiling. He was like,
"Oh, so sweet."
He loves it so much.
It's going well.
That's great.
I love that nursing's going well.
Me too.
I know.
Me too.
It's like weird that it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt at all.
I mean, I get the occasional just like 15 seconds, like right at the beginning, and then it just.
That's
Listen
so
to
nice.
him. I can't even take it.
I know.
So sweet.
I felt like my tits were falling off for 6 full months with Farrah. Like 6 full months at least. I was like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die.
I was pretty miserable with Hart. So
it was awful.
This time's a lot better.
I'm so glad.
That's so nice.
And he's also gaining weight a lot better. So obviously a lot of things are different.
Yeah. Yeah. These second kiddos do be different.
Wait, I do want to ask you though, second we're going to ask you about your birth story, but I want to know personally, second C-section versus first C-section. What can you...
Yeah.
Are they similar? Like what was
There's some layers to it, but I think physically, so much easier.
Really?
I mean, and he's pooping so loud.
Nice. Go Rude. Go Rude.
Even Bill could tell, so much different. I don't know if it's because the nerves are already kind of cut or what, but I didn't have the shooting, burning nerve pain. Oof. I almost got it a couple times, but it just never got there. So I think I don't know what the, physiology of that is, but, and then I think mentally and emotionally, there were some different circumstances, which we'll get into.
Yeah, we'll get into.
Going into it. But yeah, I mean, physically, I think, which is what probably matters most.
Can you pick up Hart yet?
Yeah.
How many weeks did they tell you until you were allowed to pick up Hart?
I feel like she said 6, could have been 12.
But what did you do?
I just didn't pick him up. I just told him that I had a boo-boo. And then he was like, okay.
Oh,
I think about that a lot, actually. Like with Spencer too. I'm like, did you pick Glenn up? Like when you have a second C-section,
I don't think she did. I think her remember
how do you explain it to them? Like,
I just told him. I told him that I had a boo-boo when we got home. So like, mommy's not gonna be able to hold you for a little while. You got to be careful around.
was it
mommy.
really hard? Was that part really hard?
Not really. He kind of understood.
That's nice.
crazy.
Yeah, I think
And
they
so
kind of. Of course, every kid's gonna be different, but he grasped it, and then he would like want me to pick him up, and hold on, we're passing off.
Oh, a little
The tit
Rudy.
is out,
Gosh, I want to hold him.
Me too. Can I? We should.
But he would want me to pick him up, and I'd be like, "Mom's got a boo boo on her belly, remember?" And he'd be like, "Oh yeah,
Oh,
That's so sweet.
yeah." So it really wasn't.
I don't know
it
that
wasn't bad.
that most kids would be like that.
Yeah.
I don't know that Farrah would be like that if I couldn't pick
She'd
her
be
up.
like,
she asks me to
"And?"
pick her up every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All day long.
yeah.
So that's like really good of him.
Yeah,
that's
and
great.
and you know, it was a while before I had him by myself, like both of them by myself. So by then, we had like
He was kind of used to it.
Yeah, we kind of repeated this a lot. So
Wait, do you pick him up now?
yeah, I'm really careful.
How
I
does it
don't-
feel now? Because it's
Fine. I mean, really, honestly, like physically, I still try to be careful because I don't know what like internal is like, but
yeah,
it doesn't hurt.
That's
There's
so
no
good.
so
pain.
good. Yeah,
That's so good.
Yeah.
And what about driving? Because I remember the first time, like
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to drive.
Yeah, I've
would you-
never really completely got that, to be honest.
What the
but-
hell is with drive? Like, how are you? I guess because you can't make quick move. Like at first, you can't make quick
and you
movements.
don't know how your muscles are going to be affected.
Hey,
You don't know
Rooster.
how your muscles are going to be
Dogs
affected.
fucking love me.
Rooster, get over here.
Dogs
so, y'all,
love
we
me.
have a dog guest now, too. It's chaos, but
Yeah, look at this new setup.
Yeah, we got a new staff.
Flanky.
yeah, but driving, I think, yeah, it's just kind of like a safety precaution. With Hart, I had to drive, I mean, within a week of me being home because our car broke down. And Bill was like 30 minutes away.
Yeah,
And then with Rudy, I had to. I didn't have a choice. I had to take him to a doctor's appointment by myself.
Yeah.
Bill has to work.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think follow guidelines, but also like understand, pay
People have
attention
to
to your
live.
body.
The
Yeah,
show
and
must
like
go
understand
on.
you have
and
to
you didn't
live.
get an infection or anything.
No.
Oh, good. Because when you read about C-sections second time, there's like a greater risk for infection. There's a greater risk for
I think-
rupture. There's
Look into.
but when I talk to
what does
women,
greater
they're
risk
like,
mean.
that was so much better the second time.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it's just that you know what's coming. I don't know. I don't know.
Mentally and emotionally, it was hard due to some circumstances. But yeah, you know what to expect, which is good, but that's also bad. And then also like physically with like in the C-section, like during it, I got really nauseous
Yeah.
and was like throwing up at the beginning when I was getting all of when they were starting. So that was different for the second time too. So just, you know, I mean, yeah, you never know, but I think overall,
Did you ever throw up during labor?
I puked my brains out the second we stepped out of the car in the parking garage.
Really? From from labor pains?
No,
Or
I was
after?
induced. It was before. I
Just from
did
nerves,
it,
maybe.
I think so. I did it at our house right before we left, and as soon as I literally opened up the car as we parked to go in for my induction, and
For E?
yeah, I don't think I did.
Just
with
felt.
one.
Did anything come out, or was it just like bile?
No,
it was
bile.
just like
yeah, yeah.
when
With
you
nerves,
have a
I think.
natural. Okay, this is just turning into Amy asks people questions about their
it.
birth story. When you have a natural birth, do they put like olive oil on your vag?
Oh no.
to
So they don't,
prepare
like,
for the
they
great
didn't
stretch
massage-
of delivery.
They didn't massage you with olive oil,
No, but they're coated in all of
the goo,
so much. What's it called? It starts with a V.
vernix.
Yeah.
vernix.
Vernix,
It's
Yeah.
white.
Yeah.
They're coated in it. So
it's
they
like
slip right on out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like literally slip. Not like in the movies. It's not like catch the
Yeah.
baby, but like they're pretty slippery.
But like they fall out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And someone catches them.
yeah.
Chase or a doctor?
No doctors were present.
Oh, yeah, I
for
remember
either
that.
of my births. There were
Lucky you.
I don't birth with doctors.
Yeah.
Chase probably would have caught but honestly, both of them. But the second time he called the nurse in time, and so she
caught.
literally caught him. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, tell us. Everybody's gonna want to hear.
Yeah. So tell us about
season 3. Started on a super negative note. I'm sorry. I love my kids. So,
girl, are you kidding me? We all want to kill our kids.
Don't even apologize.
Just seriously, we love our kids, but like, they're fucking awful. Our kids are awful.
Should have been like, welcome back. Listen to this funny story. And instead it was like,
this is a mom podcast, girlfriend.
I know.
Yeah.
Everyone's on the struggle bus.
Keep it real.
They're in a whiny, terrifying phase. Yeah. Whining, screaming, demanding. Her new thing is, before you start, her new thing is, get me that rah, rah, rah. And I'm like, excuse me, do you mean, can I please have? And she'll be like, oh, please.
But give me a nice daughter. Buddy. Today, Farrah was over this morning and I overheard, God, what did?
Get me a lollipop.
He asked her if she wanted, there were pretzels upstairs. Maybe it was pretzels. And he was like, Farrah, do you want some pretzels? She didn't answer. And he goes, Farrah, do you want some pretzels? I'm talking to you, Farrah. And I was like,
that's you.
Oh,
yeah, that's you.
I say that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, I'm talking to you, Farrah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's me.
They talk, they regurgitate everything we say.
Yeah.
She said today, Nick and I were talking because we're going to renovate the upstairs bathroom because it's unlivable.
Gotta be done.
And we were talking about different choices and whatever. And we weren't mad at each other, but we were like just disagreeing about certain things. And she goes, everybody calm down. Everybody take a deep breath. And then she went, I was like, God. You have got to be kidding me.
It's so much.
You're like, where is this knowledge and skill whenever you're the one freaking out?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, so this means you do hear it.
Yeah.
Not only are you hearing it, you are it's registering, it's soaking it.
You know when to use it.
But they still don't have impulse control.
Yeah, that's true.
They still don't. So they can know that they're doing something that's wrong and they can know that they're being an asshole, but they can't stop being an asshole.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I have to remind myself that all the time. I have to be like, she's very smart. Yes.
Impulse control.
She really knows, but she does not know.
I need
how
to
stop
remind
herself
myself that I do know impulse control. Because, there was no control over my impulses today.
Girl, you're human. And you have 2 really little kids, and one of them doesn't sleep. So you're losing it. You'll be okay. It's just
I'll be fine.
You'll be okay. It's just like fucking hard. And it's really hard when you're used to having like school and childcare and stuff like that. When that's taken away, it is fucking awful.
Yeah. Well,
and you're like, I could never go back
to help right now when he's sick. Yeah. So,
yeah. Remember when I was going to homeschool?
Oh my God.
Remember that, guys? That was a funny time when I was going to homeschool.
Yeah.
She would never make it past first grade if I was homeschooling her. I'd be like 1 + 2 is 3, I think.
Yeah. 3, maybe.
Maybe 1, 2.
She'd just be that little neighborhood rascal. Like, oh, there's Sarah.
Just breaking into people's houses.
The old homeschool girl that didn't get homeschooled.
All right, let's hear the birth story. Let's do it. Take a deep breath.
Bill's now breathing down my neck during this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, producer Bill is in. Well, we're in producer Bill's.
He's like, switch the cameras. Switch the cameras. Like, okay, you switch the cameras. God. Anyway. Where to begin? I told Bill, I was like, I bet you when they get here, they'll say I'm talking about my birth story tonight. Story.
Oh, story.
Story.
No.
Story.
Sorry,
story. Well, because we asked what people want to hear about. And they do want to know about your birth story.
I'm happy to share.
You know, because I took a video of you and you were like so pregnant. And the next day.
I know.
And we
thought start there.
We thought we had a week. So I took that video. You were huge. You were fucking miserable. And you were like, but I want to make it to the date, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day, go.
Yes. So I was scheduled for my C-section on December 28th, which was 39 weeks. And then on the 20th was a Wednesday. I went in for just my weekly appointment. I was going every Wednesday morning. And went in, of course, my OB was out of town because
as
what
they
else?
are.
What else? You know?
Yeah, as they are.
Why would she be in town?
Ever? No. Why would they ever be there when you're giving birth?
Yeah, just kind of, it's an insane idea. So, anyway, so went in, saw this other lady and sat down with a nurse, like to, you know, kind of get like, you know, you get your weight done, your blood pressure, all that. Sat down and she actually had a different blood pressure thing than my normal nurse. My normal nurse is the manual, like with the cuff and the little like pump. But she had like a digital and it was facing me and I was just like, la, la, la. I felt calm. I didn't feel weird. And it registered at like 160 over like 115. Which if you don't know anything about blood pressure.
I don't know why I said oof. I literally don't know what that means.
That's like the blood, the pressure that it's like in your veins. So over time, if you have high blood pressure for a long time, it causes a lot of stress on your brain and your veins and everything like that. And that eventually can like lead to stroke and things like that.
So that's very high.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
like what's a normal
ideal is 120 over 70.
Okay.
So they want me anywhere between, like I was really around 120 over 70 my entire pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I was on baby aspirin, which is supposed to help with that as well. But I wasn't on any blood pressure medication. So it was a lot better. It was lower than it was with heart. But yeah, I went in and it registered super high. And she was like, oh, that's high. Okay, we're going to like wait a second, measure again. And then it was even higher like a minute later.
It was because you were
of course. Yeah. So it got higher.
Stressing
go figure.
you out.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, like go sit in the room. You know, I want you to sit here for 10 minutes. Just relax. Okay, no problem. Cool. But the thing is, like, I was relaxed. Like, I was fine.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't
until
feeling
she took
weird.
your blood pressure.
Right.
And told you to relax.
So I relaxed and she came back in anyway. And it was just as high. I think it was like a little bit lower, but then they had to wait another 5 minutes and come in and do it again. It's like a whole protocol. And it stayed at like the dangerous level. I wasn't at like stroke level yet, but, you know, you don't want to get there. So
no, we don't.
They were talking about is potential preeclampsia, which can kind of just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, and kill you.
Yeah. And so that's why I know some people like don't want to do routine OB care. They don't want to do any of that, which is like fine. But I'm really thankful for it because how many people died from this because they just didn't know and it came out of
in
nowhere.
Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be.
Spoiler alert, R.I.P. Sybil. That would have been me.
Oh my God.
Morbid.
So when Sybil
terrible.
dies, it's just too much.
And where do you think my brain immediately
Of course you went to Sybil right away.
I was like, okay, get the name change papers over here. I gotta.
Sybil died.
Freaking Sybil Crawley.
I gotta write my will.
I know. Seriously. Oh my word. So
okay.
So yeah. And then they remeasure it one or two more times, and then they're like, okay, so we need you to go across the street and get checked into the ER, the OB ER, for monitoring. Because in the ER, you lay down on a bed, they hook you up, and it like is set on a cycle to measure.
Was this at this point were you like it may be happening?
Yeah,
I was already.
Yeah.
Well, I texted Bill and I was like, "Hey, just so you know, my blood pressure's high." And he's like, okay, just like probably just weird morning, or you're probably just nervous because you're getting close, or probably something you ate,
That's fair.
or
like,
whatever you said."
Fair. Sorry if you didn't like that answer from him, but like fair.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like, "Oh, it's probably nothing."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, it's like really high. Like I've never seen my blood pressure
I'm
this
stroking.
high." Yeah. So
Stroking out.
Yeah.
Time to get worried, babe.
Yeah. And so, went in, laid down, whatever, of course, got on my computer because I was still working at this time. My boss knew I was at the doctor, but I was like, okay, I got some stuff to finish. I thought I still had another week of work left. Went in and it was high. Like they just kept measuring it. It was high. And then they gave me some medication for blood pressure. And then it didn't really go down much, any impactful amount. And then they sent a midwife in. And that's when I was like, okay. So I was texting y'all, of course.
Yeah, you're like,
texting
I'm
the
gonna
gals.
have my child.
And I was texting Bill, and he was at work. And hadn't been at work, but like an hour maybe. And he's like, should I just like go home? Because I haven't even packed bags yet. Y'all, I was 37 weeks and 6 days and I hadn't packed my hospital bag, okay?
Because you have a toddler.
Well, yeah,
and
it's
a
your
job,
second pregnancy.
and
Yeah. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Put it on the kitchen, hang it on the wall.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know. Birth is just so inspiring, you know? So yeah. And he's like, should I just like go home just in case?
You're like,
and I was
probably.
I was like, yeah. So he went up and packed bags and then they were like, okay. They like came in, they're like, okay, so you're being admitted. And I was like being admitted like for further monitoring or like for childbirth.
Right.
And she was like, oh yeah, you're the
Like
only
tomato,
cure.
tomato.
She was like, the only cure for preeclampsia, which you have. So I peed and then had blood work and
Fuck.
then my blood pressures. They were like, yeah, you have preeclampsia.
So you had, it's pre-eclampsia?
Yeah, and then eclampsia is what Sybil had, and that's when you're stroking out and
Eclampsia, you die. Or you could.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
Pre is when they're like, we got to do this now.
Yeah, it's leading up to it.
Yeah.
So the only cure for it is getting the baby out.
Yeah.
That's what they kept
That's
saying.
highly stressful.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. So
No, got
you know,
it. Cool.
told my direct reports at work, my kind of counterpart, Drew, shout out, and then my boss, and was like, hey, like maternity leave starting today. Like, you know, I'm getting admitted. So we went up. I like got in the, you know, the first room you're in before you have your baby and started signing all the papers, talking to the anesthesiologist, the doctor. Bill got there. I cried a lot.
Yeah.
Y'all, this poor man, I was like, fine. I was so calm. And then a little after like my nurse left and everything, the anesthesiologist came in and they come in and like say, you know, all the risks and just ask you if any questions. And as soon as this poor man, Luke, walked in the room, he's this sweet man. And I was just like,
Oh, Morgie.
crying, and he's like, oh, I don't know if there's any tissues. I don't know. And I was like, no, I'm fine. I'll just use my gown.
Yeah.
And he was like, are you okay? Do you need anything? I was like, yeah, I realized that I didn't say goodbye to my firstborn this morning, and I didn't know I was having my baby today.
Morgie.
That's sad though. You were really upset about that part.
Yeah,
That part
that was really rough for me.
Yeah,
I kind of had a hard morning, right?
We had a tough morning that morning, y'all, and that really played into my emotions a little bit.
For sure.
I was sad. I was more sad about Hart than I was like about
of course.
having birth. Yes, giving birth. We had a tough morning. We were rushing, and then you kind of get in your head, oh, I have a few more days, and like,
we'll make it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we'll have one more good morning before. Yeah,
exactly. And so that was really rough, and he was sweet. And then I actually did talk to, at first I found out that my OB truly was out of town and could not perform my C-section.
Yeah.
And so another lady came in who was going to do it, and we talked about VBAC if I wanted to be induced. I considered it. I asked her, everything, and she was like, "We can do it." But
I didn't know that you.
Yeah, I just was kind of like, "Let's talk about it."
Yeah,
and then I was just like, "No, I'm good, actually. Thanks. I'm gonna just do a C-section." And then they scheduled me for 4 p.m. And went in. I don't think really there's nothing. It was 11:30 when you got there, and we had to wait till 4. So time flew, honestly.
Yeah.
We were like in the twilight zone a little bit.
Were you able to eat or drink?
No. The reason they had to push me to 4 was because I had eaten a small granola bar for breakfast.
And they're really intense about that.
Yeah. They're very, very
the anesthesia.
Yeah, they're very very intense about. Oh, and if they have to like intubate you, like if you stop breathing or whatever, they don't want like anything like, in the way. Or something
you
like
can't.
That. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's for a reason. But it was like really small. Like it's probably dissolved by now.
Yeah,
because I'm also dying. I'm so hungry. So. And throughout all of this, my blood pressure remained pretty high. It dipped for a little while, and they were like, "Oh," but then it came back up. So, we went in at 4:00. I got my spinal and everything. We had this amazing anesthesiologist. He was great, and he was really goofy, but it's really funny that no one was on the same page about my medical history or my medication. From the doctor's office to the ER, and then I correct them at every checkpoint. We get up to the room, the nurse is filled in, and then we're like, okay, great. The anesthesiologist comes in, goes over my current medications, and and I'm like, no, not that one. So I do it again.
Oh my God.
And then continue to update the medical team throughout my entire stay at the hospital over what I'm taking or not taking. And then they forgot to bring me my antidepressant. And so I'd be like, no, I'm on an antidepressant. I also need that because I can't just quit that. So that's also a thing, guys. Be aware of what you're taking, how much you're taking, how often you're taking it. And just like be prepared with that when you go in and listen to people. Because like sometimes they wouldn't even be talking to me directly. They'd be talking to each other. And I'm like, no, like this is what I'm not, like I'm not taking this. I haven't taken that for 6 months. Like,
oh my God. Wait, that's bad.
I know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, because that could be dangerous for you.
Well, exactly. And so, especially considering the circumstances. It's like you want everything to be in order.
Oh my God.
So that is like one piece of advice I do have for people is like pay attention as much as you can. I know you're probably like, mind's going, a million miles a minute, but it's worth it to be aware.
Yeah.
Or have somebody that's there who knows. He didn't know, but it's okay because I did.
Now we do know.
Yeah. So that's fine. Like it's not, not a kick at Bill, but like could have been if I died. Anyway, went in for the C-section. Like I said, I got really nauseous. And he helped me. So just like tell them how you're feeling, like tell them if you're feeling sick, they can adjust all your medications to make you feel better. And I would tell him, and he'd be like, okay, I'm doing this. And then within 20 seconds, I was feeling better.
Wow.
And so that was really helpful. And got my C-section. He was born. I actually could see him while they were working on him this time on the table, little warming table they put him on. Because with Hart, he was like on the other side of the curtain, like in the corner. And so I couldn't even see him.
That sucks.
But with Rudy, he was like to my left, just right, like 6 feet away. And I could see. And then, of course, kind of what we were not of course, but it happens. What we were hoping would not happen was the respiratory issues that Hart had. I know like Spencer didn't have the issue. I know a lot of people who have C-sections and their baby doesn't go to the NICU. Their baby does not have like the fluid issues, the breathing, their respiratory distress.
We didn't, but it's really common that they do.
I know, yeah. And so both of mine had the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So they're working on, I'm working on, we're just like, oh my gosh. And
that's so nerve-wracking.
Then finally, after a few minutes, they're like, okay, so we have to pass him off to the NICU team. And Bill just like looked at me and I was just like, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. And I just felt like peace about it. I was like, we've done it once, like we'll do it again.
Yeah.
And like, I'm so
hard,
thankful it worked out the way it did, because if I had made it to the 28th, gotten my C-section, and then he went to the NICU and we were there for 5 days like we were, I would have paid double the insurance stuff because we would have crossed over into the new year.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
That's wild.
So
it's kind of a blessing that
worked out. Yeah. So that was December 20th.
Such a good day.
Yeah, really good. Really good birthday, buddy. You did it. But yeah, I got back to the room, whatever. I'm trying not to like give too many details that like nobody cares about.
Everyone cares.
Okay, cool.
This is like juicy.
I had some really great nurses. Rudy was in the NICU, but they were like, he's doing fine. I mean,
you get to go see them when they're in the NICU?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you can go at any time.
Oh, good.
So you can go in there, you can hold them, you can feed them.
I'm shocked that your breastfeeding went so well.
I know, me too.
I know,
that's normally that really, like messes with it.
Well, I value the whole like, the natural ways, and like that would have been my dream for both of my boys, but it didn't happen that way. And like the whole, what is it called? The golden hour and stuff. And like, so much pressure on like my baby and I aren't going to be bonded because I don't have this, or we're not going to be able to breastfeed because they're going to the NICU.
What's the golden hour again? I forget.
They lay on your skin for an hour post-delivery.
And like start the breastfeeding then. Well, if your baby is in respiratory distress,
of course.
go to the NICU. They got oxygen, and I had to start pumping every 2 hours.
Oof.
And so that helped my milk come in and all that. It's great. But yeah, you get so nervous that, I'm not meeting this standard. So like, it's not going to go well for me. Which was not the case.
Yeah.
So I think there are so many factors that go into having a good, like, a smooth breastfeeding experience, and this just kind of worked out. Hold on. I'm getting dry throat because I'm talking so much.
Your body like obviously knew what to do this time.
Yeah.
Because they make it sound so like it's so natural, everything just happens, but it's a lot of learning and teaching.
Yeah.
And your body just knew this time.
Yeah.
Whereas the first time your body was like, what in the fuck?
Yeah. And it's just, or it's just all up to change. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
who
so
knows?
many factors that go into every single pregnancy, birth, everything.
How was your baby blues this time?
There have been some nights.
Oh my word. I think they were worse than with Heart.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they might have lasted the same amount or maybe a little shorter. I honestly am not sure on like how like many days.
Yeah.
But it was definitely worse.
How were your baby blues with Wyatt?
I didn't have time to feel them because of the shit
the
storm
colic.
that I mean, he literally like we had like 3 days of like newborn like
oh, I remember you guys were like he's sleeping.
And then literally like all hell broke motherfucking loose, and I honestly I didn't have a choice to have baby blues. That sounds like psycho, but we literally went from like having
like you probably did suffer from postpartum depression though because
first I mean I was definitely like in a really bad place for a long time. I mean I cried all day every day for weeks,
4 months.
Yeah, I mean like it's so I definitely like had baby blues, but it was almost like there wasn't even time for me to be like, you guys, I'm really sad right now because I literally was like
in hell.
So
when did they start? For me they started in the hospital. I started crying in the hospital.
I was pretty okay in the hospital. I think there was so much going on with my health in the hospital after I had him.
Yeah.
Whereas with Heart, it was more we were waiting on him.
Yeah.
And I was fine. But this time, like, he was done after 2 days, but it was
like
me.
He was good.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
My stuff got worse. And so.
Oh, yeah. They kept you for a while.
Yeah.
Which was another medication miscommunication, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll definitely have to get into that. It's so crazy. But yeah,
That's one word for it, I suppose.
They started when we got home, and it was like, I think it was Christmas night, probably like the night we got home or a couple nights after, because I was just suddenly like missing Heart so bad. I feel like, I mean, I can't even remember exactly what I said to Bill. I think I told him that my heart was just broken. I was just sobbing.
Yeah.
I was sobbing.
Yeah.
I mean, for like a long time.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to be. I can't imagine that part. That part is the hardest for me to imagine.
Yeah.
Being away from your first.
Well, I was going to say, when you said you thought they were worse this time, how much of that had to do with Heart and not because of him.
Yeah.
But there was a piece of your heart that you were missing, or, you know, the times that he wanted you to pick him up and you couldn't pick him up. Like all of the feelings of like, and I'm speaking about myself at this point, but like all of the feelings of like, I'm not being the mom that I want to be for my firstborn / the mom that he's used to.
Yeah.
So I could see that making baby blues worse, because you not only have like
so
the
hard.
normal baby blues from your current baby, but you're also like, oh my God, like I also have another one here that like
and you're
is
almost
not getting the best version of me.
Right. And you're almost like anticipating all the things that you're not going to be able to do the same.
But
like,
even though you're giving them such a gift. Like they're in their life, what you're doing for them is like such a great sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I refuse to believe that women have tons of children for themselves.
Yeah.
Like I know that, yes, women love children and women love babies, but I don't think at the end of the day, most of us want to do it many times over because it's fucking awful.
For the hell of it,
So you do it for them.
Yeah.
So it's like you must, but I can't imagine. I mean, even tonight, like Farrah was crying for me when we put her down and Nick was like, I'll do it. And I was like, no, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Because her little cry.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine being with another child and hearing her little cry and not being able to go to her.
I know.
That would fuck me up.
I literally shared something on my story about that today.
Yeah, it's bad.
I don't know if you read it,
did.
but like literally I was like, Chase was asleep most of the day because he's sick and can't help. And I was putting E down for bed, and E's super easy to put to bed, but like wants to cuddle beforehand,
which
mommy. Of course I want to do that. But when I have Wyatt, it's more difficult obviously to do that. And so E was wanting to cuddle, but so I set Wyatt down, and like those of you that know that Wyatt isn't able to just like sit still. So like I get 2 minutes with him before he's upset and needing to be held or needing to be somewhere else. And so, you know, the sound machine's on, the blinds are closed, like E's room is ready, and I'm holding him, and Wyatt just starts Wyatting. And I was like, E buddy. And like at this point, I'm so overstimulated that like, it wasn't even like, hang on, E. Like the option of like, okay, get down on the floor and cuddle E and hold Wyatt didn't even occur to me. It was literally like, Eli, you have to get in bed. And I had to like get Wyatt out of the room. Yeah. And it was just this immediate, like, it all needed to end. Yeah. And that sucks because then the whole rest of the day I replayed like, oh, well, that's the note that I left it on with E.
You feel
like
bad.
Instead of like, responding to the emotions that he clearly needed responding to. I threw him in his bed and ran out. I was like, I said, love you. He asked for Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And I literally went, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. How I wonder what you are. Like literally like still sing it, but it was.
You did the remix.
Yeah, it was really fast. And, I told him I loved him, did all the things, but like booked out of his room with Wyatt screaming. Yeah. And that's just like, there's so many emotions happening at once.
But you have to understand that like they'll cry so hard for something, and then a minute later,
I know
they're thinking about something else.
I know,
like they're literally like don't remember the thing that they just flipped out about. So he's not thinking about that. That's
and even like I went in there to wake him up again after his nap, and he was like so happy to see me. Yeah, it's not it's not like he was like you rushed out of my room. Yeah, but yeah, it's so hard to have like when both kids like literally need you, and you have to be like, well, which one needs me more? Like,
yeah, and Wyatt like literally can't do anything for himself.
Right, and it's hard because like E's the one who emotionally like understands the feeling of needing. Yeah. And like has obviously a higher chance of remembering it. Wyatt won't remember any of this, but like so there's that factor, but then there's also the factor of like Wyatt literally needs me. Like
he can't do anything.
He's not even crawling right now, or he's like scooting, but like
he's slithering.
He's slithering. He literally needs me right now. And
Wyatt's slithering.
It's tough. It literally slithers.
He just
slithers on the ground. Like when he's wearing a shirt and short pants, his pants fall off.
Yeah.
Just slithers right out of him.
Yep.
It's cute. No,
he's doing his thing. No, that sounds so hard, you guys. Seriously, it does.
Is. I don't even remember exactly what I was feeling, but it was just I just remember being so sad about Hart. Yeah. And like he was right there and he was fine, but like I was like, no, this is awful. Yeah. This is so bad.
But there's also that fear, like you said, of like what is going to change? Like, is our relationship going to be the same? And like it may sound bad, but like there's the reality of like it's not just you anymore.
Oh, I know.
And you have to mourn that.
But they had you for 2 uninterrupted years. Yeah. And this baby won't. Yeah. Right. And there's good and bad in both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it was so hard. And the time of year and getting dark so early, I mean, I called it, instead of the Sunday scaries, I was calling it the sundown scaries. Yeah. Every night, whenever the sun started going down, I was like, hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah. Well, it's been so fucking bad. Freezing. It rains all the time. It's dark all the time. I mean, it is really depressing here right now. Yeah. And it was worse then. Yeah. So
there was, I think the second time I came over, because the first time you were still like, it was like so early. Yeah. Everything was like mostly happy. Yeah. But the second time I came over to hang out, I could tell you were feeling a little postpartum, shall we call it? Yeah. And I remember like sitting down next to you because Eli was born in January, and I know what it's like. Like January babies are hard because it's dark and it's cold and it's sad and it's dark. Like period. You can't leave the house. Yeah. sicknesses. Like there's just so many factors. January babies are
and
really hard.
and everyone's sick the whole time. Yeah.
And so I remember sitting down next to you and I was like, January is hard. Like you're going to be sad.
Yeah.
So like if there are moments of sunshine that you can get, like even if you're freezing, like go outside.
Yeah. Make yourself.
But I just remember looking and being like, you're going to be sad.
Yeah.
Like I don't like,
Yeah.
it's a sad time to birth a baby. If you birth a January baby, I like.
Yeah.
But then you're
Probably
kind of
February,
healed and
too.
ready to go for like hot mom summer. You know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
For sure.
That's the good part.
That
is
is
like
that's
that
very
is so
true.
true.
you're
Yeah.
not right fresh.
Right. That's true. And
Trying to find the silver lining.
no,
here,
that is a
guys.
silver
No,
lining.
that's-
It
I like
definitely
that that's true.
is. But, and that faded, and we've had some company, like staying, like people like coming in, like staying. And then like y'all have come and seen me a few times. And so that was really helpful. And then things kind of got like crazy over the past couple weeks. And I'm like, oh, it's all back again.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
The worst thing is we felt so bad as soon as you had Rudy. Everyone had the flu.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, all of us were taken down for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Well,
to
then
do about that.
I had been
But I
coming-
was like, shit, I want to like be there, but I
know.
can't
I
give her
forgot about
child the
that.
flu.
Yeah, y'all were all.
We were taken out by the flu. It was so bad. Farrah had a 103, 104 fever
Yeah.
for 8 straight days.
Yeah.
Days.
And I went to the doctor twice and like called every day. And they were like, this flu is really doing this to
Yeah.
people. We're
Yeah.
telling you that it's like,
Yeah.
it's not abnormal. And I was like, 103, 104 for 8 straight days cannot be normal.
Yeah.
I know.
She was like hallucinating every night.
God, yeah.
I was like,
brutal.
Yeah, y'all had
It was
y'all did
Motherhood in the
brutal.
winter, y'all. Motherhood.
we
in the
have been
winter.
fucking sick constantly.
We have two. Chase was saying that today. He was like, I've never been sicker.
It's because it's the kids. They bring home fucking
Yeah.
something every other week.
It's like
But that's
daycare
why
is
I
such a
texted
blessing and a
Morg like
curse.
3 days ago because I'd been coming every Thursday to see her with Wyatt for a
Yeah.
little bit, and I haven't in 2 weeks because
You're like,
he
I
had
can't get you
whatever, and
sick.
then I had it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I swear, like I miss you. I'm coming this week. But like and then Chase
I
ended
know.
up. So I
I
was
know.
like, I'm not gonna
There's-
come around
no,
I mean,
you
hey.
can't. It's
this time of year though. It's so
sucks so
brutal.
bad. It
Yeah,
sucks so bad.
It's
So
a
it
lot.
takes away the like visitor aspect
Yeah.
of it too because people
It's a
are
lot.
sick.
Oh, well,
and-
that's the thing is, and it's bringing up, I mean, the fact that just life doesn't stop. It doesn't stop for you when you're postpartum, and it doesn't stop for the people around you either.
Right.
Yeah.
Like my grandfather passed away
Yeah.
on the 31st. Well, it's been almost 2 weeks, or about 2 weeks. And so then like all my family, and
Yeah.
he lived 15 minutes from here. And so my house was then the central hub for a lot of family and a lot of
Yeah.
people. And
That's a lot.
all of
Yeah.
that. And I mean, oh my gosh. And then it was my little sister's birthday. It was my little sister. Sorry, I'm giving my dog the finger. Yeah, no, I'm off camera. But it was my little sister's birthday. In the middle of that, wanted her to feel special, and so we,
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah,
No, it's a
just-
double-edged
so
sword because you
chaotic.
want company when you first have a baby because you do need help.
Yeah.
And like the chaos of it kind of distracts you from real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like people are cleaning and people are helping and people are, sometimes,
Yeah.
and people are holding the baby and doing things. And then you're like, I got to get these fucking people out of my house. And then they leave and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
here I am with
Yeah.
a baby.
Yep.
And I can't do shit.
Yeah.
Except for feed this baby and change them every 2 fucking hours.
Yeah.
That is depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't
Because you want people, but you don't want people.
exactly. I mean, and I don't mind the the visitor, the fun visitors, the nice visitors.
Yeah.
That's great, and the aware visitors.
Yeah, the
But
aware visitor.
to host 15 people
Oh, that's too much.
in my home over the course, repeatedly over the course of a few days.
Yeah.
And also having my, like a grandparent pass away and like
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah,
It's pretty intense.
it's a lot.
It's pretty
You
intense.
guys have been hit with a fair bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, how old is he now?
Who, Rudy?
Yeah,
8 weeks on this coming Wednesday.
no, he's
He'll be
only 2 months
8
old.
weeks. Yeah.
But that's nuts, though.
I know.
And you're already podcasting. Look at you.
No.
I know.
You bad bitch.
I know. Well, I was like, I want to get through January. And then we were going to do
Last
what?
week.
Yeah, we were going to do last week with my grandfather.
Yeah,
and
your grandpa
stuff.
died.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we were on
Back at it, baby.
within the goal that I had mentally
you
set
guys,
for myself.
that's I'm impressed that we're doing
making
this
it
so
happen
soon.
right now. I mean, he's been fussing a little bit, but Bill can walk around with him at least. So.
It feels good for me, at least the second time around. It felt good to kind of like jump back into normalcy.
Yeah.
I was more ready to the second time.
Yeah. I think
the first time I was like, let's veg.
I don't know what normalcy is for me because a lot of my routine is focused around my job that I have a maternity leave from.
Right.
Wait, when do you go back?
April 10th.
Okay, so you have a little time.
I still have 2 months. Yeah.
Good. Oh, that's so good.
So I feel like that's where
there's something going up my ass.
Yeah, same.
Oh, the springs on that. I meant to tell y'all. Oh, it's
sake.
awful. It's awful.
Yeah,
but
it's okay. My tailbone is like
It's literally giving.
Yeah.
It's like doing anal and doing the podcast at the same time.
No, we definitely need to figure that out. But we're like, it's down here. So
It'll be fine.
Oh yeah, no, we're fine. I'm
Maybe
just
that's
being.
what these are
it's
for.
bad. It's,
Yeah, let's
it's,
maybe.
it's really really bad. Y'all are trying to tell me that. So even if I
better.
get an ass like y'all's, it's still gonna hurt.
My
tailbone
is just like grinding.
Yeah.
And
No, this is better. Are we still in
this
frame?
works.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right, cool.
How does our posture look?
It's looking great. It's looking great. No, it's good.
No, I just like legit had a spring in my butthole, so I couldn't do it anymore.
That couch is assaulting for
okay.
sure.
That's fine.
But yeah, so a lot of my routine is around my job, corporate job that I am thankful to get leave from, good leave, 3.5 months. But that definitely.
Well, sanity, I mean, at least for me, does revolve around routine.
Yeah.
So when my routine and my shit's all fucked up, like I'm not very sane.
No, absolutely.
Hence me today. I haven't.
Yeah.
I've lost it so many times today. It's because the routine that we have has not been in place in a week now.
Yeah. And I think as mothers, you have to depend on routine for any semblance of sanity. And so when that's taken away again, you're like, holy shit, I can't depend on these things.
And
it's the sense of, sorry, you've been cut off 8 times. It's the sense of control too. Like there's a lot of things in motherhood that we can't control, like our children's emotions.
Exactly.
Sometimes my own. But I can control a schedule and a routine, and when that is taken from me, I don't handle that well. I don't know who does, but like actually there are some like hippie moms that do, and I wish I could be more like that, but routine is the one thing that I like. It just sends me into a tizzy when it's gone.
I function best when I have 2 million things going on and I can complain about how busy I am.
Yeah.
But not random kid things, like work things, I'm picking her up at this time, we're doing this at this time, I need everything scheduled in my adult life. In my 20s, I was a complete fucking shit show. Literally, you guys would have... There is no way that I could survive this life as my former self.
Yeah.
But now I really, really depend on that. And so when anything takes me away from that, AKA like a human that you have to take care of, you feel kind of like you're not doing anything.
Yes.
But you're actually doing the most that you've ever done.
The most things you've ever done.
You know, like you're taking care of a human being, which is like the hardest thing you've ever done.
Yep.
But there is this weird feeling like I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing anything.
I know.
And you watch people on social media and you're like, they're doing so much.
Yeah.
They're accomplishing so much. They're so successful. And all I'm doing is breastfeeding, and it's
all
like,
I'm
but
doing is
that's a
hating my
big
life
deal.
all day.
Yeah.
Breastfeeding is a big deal.
It is.
It's fucking hard, dude.
It is.
And you are like almost captive in your house in the beginning.
Yeah.
You're
you
kept
are.
captive.
And like define beginning, because I definitely feel like I'm still there.
Yeah.
You're 2 months. This is the beginning, girlfriend. I didn't feel like I wasn't being held captive for at least 6 months.
I feel insane.
I would say 6 months too.
6 months is when I was like, oh, I feel like I can. And I'm sure that like the second kid is different. I don't know. But like in 6 months with Farah, I felt like, okay, there's a little bit of a thing happening. I can go to this. I can go to that. I can bring her. She might flip out. She might not, but I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
But you're a prisoner to your own home.
You're a prisoner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
I was
He's
gonna
2
say
months
we, but
old.
And that's hard.
It's rough. It's
Are
really
you going to do daycare when you go back to work, or are you trying to find someone to come here?
So so right now we're still, expecting to only need Wednesday through Friday, which is what we do with Hart.
Okay.
I'm home Mondays and Fridays. Working. Bill's home Mondays and Tuesdays. So Tuesday he will have both boys by himself.
Oh wow, Bill.
Look at him over there dadding so hard.
He
Rudy
is
and just
dadding.
petting Rooster.
So cute.
And then
I have to get a picture.
so Thursday and Friday, Aunt Sydney will be Rudy's nanny at home.
Wow.
Which is what we wanted. Hart had a nanny in our
That's
house
great.
for the first
y'all
year
loved her.
so of me working. And she was great. And then we put him into daycare. Or no, actually it's a lie. We had Spencer for a while and then we had Polly for a while and then we went to daycare. She'll have him Thursdays and Fridays, and Wednesdays we're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
We're thinking we might put him in where Hart is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just on Wednesdays.
I mean, Maddie put Rosie in, and Rosie looks happy.
I know. I was
she
talking
looks
to Maddie
so
about
happy.
this.
Pictures. I'm like, Rosie looks fucking happy.
I know. And I was talking to Maddie about it, and I was like, I've walked by the infant rooms at his daycare, and it's just like 6 babies laying on the floor screaming.
Oh my god,
That's not what I thought you were going to say. That's
not what you want to hear.
opposite of what I thought you were going to say.
And it's like one teacher, and she's like writing things like up on a counter, like on a piece of paper.
I'm good. Nope.
And I'm like, I can't do that. And I told
No.
Maddie that, and she's like, yeah, Morgan, that's pretty much what they do.
Oh my.
And I was like, girl, So,
But you know what, kids? I get it, but like because I was the most psycho out of all of us about that shit by far. But all of Nick's siblings were in daycare from the time they were little babies because Tracy went back to work.
And I know. And
my friend Ginger goes back to work
and
immediately,
he'll be like
and then
16 weeks.
I mean, and they are fine. They're adjusted because they have to learn how to adjust.
Yeah.
And it actually serves them, I think, later in life. I really do. I think it makes I think it
the
serves
thought's
them.
really killing me.
The thought to me is obviously
They're just like,
yeah. Just
and like their
snot and
head
shit.
sliding, sliding off the boppy, and they're just
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
someone steps
and
on them.
I almost went in. I was like, "Where's the teacher?"
Yeah. No,
And I
that's
was
like giving
if that
me
was
like
my baby, I would have been so pissed off.
Yeah.
that's giving me a nervous breakdown.
Yeah,
right now.
I'm not liking the imagery.
No, I'm not like
It's really not. I literally thought she was gonna be like, I walked by.
It was
they were all
peaceful.
just like smiling.
Yeah.
That's not what you said.
They all have their own individual employee.
Oh, well, we were
them.
talking to Larissa from the news.
yeah.
Who's awesome. And
so awesome.
she was telling us her baby's starting daycare, and she was like, I just feel like they're not like normal human beings. And I'm like, I get it, because that's how when I expected to walk into daycare, I expected you and someone else that looked and talked like you guys to be like, hi, I am so excited to take your child.
Yeah.
She will learn everything. We will be best friends.
Yeah.
That is not what you get. You get someone that's like overwhelmed, sweating. Like when we drop her off at daycare, the teacher's overwhelmed and sweating.
She's always
and she's like,
Farrah's teacher is always actually sweating though.
and she's just like, yeah, she's doing good. 5 minutes after you leave, she's fine. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, is she?
I believe you.
Like, but are you okay? And we were talking to Larissa. We're like, yeah, it's just not what you think in your head.
yeah.
They're not paying teachers enough. There's not enough teachers. I mean, they're working with what they have. And they're
also
doing as
always
best as
so
they can.
fine. Like, they're so fine.
and they're fine.
They really are. It's
when
like
I come to pick her up, she's happy as a fucking clam.
Well, and I usually
she's like,
drop
I
off.
talked to baby Jesus. I drew baby Jesus.
Stop, that's so good.
She's always telling me shit about baby Jesus. I'm like, you're Jewish. Sorry to tell you.
That's so good.
You're Jewish.
I always drop off a little bit after y'all do. And I always, sorry, listener. I always pop in.
Yeah.
Or not pop in. Like,
you just
look
pop your head in, yeah.
her window. And she's always like so happy.
Yeah.
Or like
I think
bossing
it's
somebody
a
around or
She's
somebody.
always,
Yeah.
she
I
loves to
know.
discipline anybody.
Yeah, she sure does.
But like they're playing.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah, they're playing.
the baby thing.
the baby thing
The baby thing is harder.
I'm not going to sugarcoat that.
But most
That's
people
tough.
don't have a choice. You know, a lot of women, especially
know.
single moms, don't have a choice.
I also
My
like,
friend
don't think we're
Steph,
gonna
she's
have
like,
choice
I had to
either.
take my kid I had to work.
I know that Spence has two, but have you thought about talking to Spence?
She honestly has like offered.
Listen, if
I
any
think-
of us can do it,
yeah,
it's Spence.
Maybe we'll do spins.
Because Glenn is in school on Wednesdays.
That's true.
Yes.
No, I actually
And
think
Spence
maybe
is
she did
actually
offer.
like unbreakable.
I know.
Yeah.
I
think
unbreakable.
Spencer's like accidentally going to end up having 6 kids and is going to like kill it.
I know.
Yeah, and she'll be like
She
not
suddenly
even
has
phased by
6
it.
arms, and we're
Yeah.
like, how did you?
She
do
will
that?
not be phased
She's
by
like,
6
guys,
kids.
I willed it to happen.
Yeah.
Literally, she
was like, I think we're gonna have a third. I'm like, I think you are too.
Yeah.
Why stop now?
she's-
2 hasn't put a dent in you.
No, she's for sure going to. She's for sure
Literally
going to.
2. You're not
can't-
having a hard time.
She texted me today and was like, I'm sad to see that you look like you've been crying. Like, I know it's so hard. Like, I have these days too. She was like, you can always call me to come over. And I'm like, fuck, that's so nice. I would never
You're
offer
like,
that
but
if I
you
were in
have
your
2.
shoes.
Yeah, you're like, but you have 2 as well.
I don't offer that. I have to. And like, Morg just had a baby and I'm like, I love you from afar.
No,
like, I can't do it.
Yeah, but you took
I don't
Farrah
do
for
it
me
either.
this morning.
That's true. I did.
You did,
do it
and you did good
Yeah, it was great, honestly.
because they played.
It was great. Yeah.
But no, I know. I'm the only one out of us that like can do things for everyone. I'm like, can I take your kids?
She's so reliable.
I know. So reliable.
Don't lose that, Amy.
Yeah, I'll try not to.
Yeah, but
We probably should.
Oh yeah, what is it? Have we been talking for 2 full
It's been
hours?
an hour. Let's ask a question.
55. Let's see.
What do you want to know?
Question. A lot of these aren't questions. So give me a second.
Okay. What about read my question?
From the Rock Me Mama
Yeah.
account. How Macy got that ass. Peach emoji.
Sitting on this couch.
I don't know why I thought it was so funny.
It's acupuncture.
When I did it, when I wrote it, I was like chuckling to myself like a creep. I was like, how Macy got that ass.
I should have known that was you.
It was me.
When
yeah.
you read it, when you were reading it all today, I was like,
You're like, who wrote that? I was like, me.
as you were answering that, I was like,
Okay. What else? What next?
I don't know which one of these are like topic suggestions. Hold on. Y'all, I'm struggling. Is this mom brain?
Mom brain is real.
Okay. I'm just gonna do this. Is the only one with a question mark. Am I crazy?
No.
I don't know. But ask, sure.
What's your most embarrassing mom moment?
Oh God. I mean, every day is fairly embarrassing. Anytime I'm in public, something happens.
Yeah, I mean, surely it's something that's been in public, right?
Well, that's all. The tantrums are fair. I find tantrums to be very embarrassing because I feel like people are like, she can't fucking handle her kid.
Yeah.
What did I?
I can't think of a specific instance, to be honest.
Oh, Farrah, we were at the library the other night because we were taking a walk, and she was like, I want to go to the library. I was like, it's closed. And then we walked by, and it was like, we're open. I was like, and she's so fucking smart. She's like, no, it says.
She's like, I actually can read it. So
yeah,
fuck
she's like,
you.
I actually read already.
O-P-E-N.
I actually called them and asked them their hours. So
we went in, and within 20 minutes, she was just like yelling and running around. And she tried to steal a book and tried to steal pencils.
Right.
And I was like, we can't do that. And then she ran around the library. And mind you, there are people there at night.
Yeah.
Like, that's when people come.
yeah.
So it was busy. Ran around screaming at the top of her lungs. I had to tackle her, rip the pencils out of her hand, and carry her in a football hold out of the library.
Yeah.
That's kind of mortifying because I tried everything. I tried talking. I tried bribing. I tried lollipop, everything. Nothing worked. She was like, no, mine. I was like, okay. Guess I'm going to have
Those
to
moments
abuse you
really
in
are the
public.
worst. Yeah.
I have to abuse you in front of people.
Yeah. I can't think of like, there isn't a moment in motherhood where I'm like, that's the one.
Yeah.
But today, honestly, it was, a similar thing. We went to Hobby Lobby to like get some arts and crafts, which like, listen, 3-year-old boys don't want arts and crafts, or at least mine doesn't. They were all right next to the monster truck aisle.
Yeah.
So like that was game over.
She loves arts and crafts.
And so we go in and I'm wearing Wyatt. I don't have a stroller. Like the diaper bag's also on my back, and I didn't get a grocery cart, which was like, or buggy, whatever you call it when you're not at the grocery store, shopping cart. And so that was stupid because of course we see 2 monster trucks that E doesn't have, and so I have to get them. And then I'm like, we went here for arts and crafts. Like we are leaving with arts and crafts. Like you're getting crafty today.
Yeah.
And so the whole time I'm like, what about this? What about this? And he's like, I want arts and crafts. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell you that these are arts and crafts. Like, just pick something out. So anyways.
I know. I kind of screwed you when I said arts and crafts in front of him.
It's fine. Lesson learned. But
then he just started saying it over and over.
He did paint a really pretty canvas today that'll go up on the wall. But anyway, so by the end of it, we've been in the same 2 aisles for 30 minutes. Wyatt's like ready to be out of the carrier. Yeah. I don't have a shopping cart. So I'm holding 2 monster trucks, a big like 16 by 20 canvas, all the paintbrushes that he's picked out, acrylic paints, these paints, and Wyatt. And I'm literally like at full capacity, which already people are like, what the fuck? Like, why did you not get a shopping cart?
Yeah.
Like, what? I was thinking that the whole time. And then of course, when it's time to go, it's the whole like, I don't want to leave, you know, that thing.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And I did not physically have the arms to grab him. Yeah. Because it was either drop everything, which in hindsight I should have, and like taught him a lesson. But it would, in my head, I was like, I could drop everything right here and leave this on the ground for the poor Hobby Lobby employee to pick up to like teach my child a lesson, or I just like suck it up and find a way to do it. And so I'm sitting here like, I probably like 7 times was like, fine, I'm not going to get you anything, and like proceeded to not set anything down, you know? Yeah. So like that did a lot of good. And finally, like, it's crazy the things that'll come out of your mouth when you're in these situations, you know? I finally said, well, fine, Wyatt and I are going to leave you here. And I just turned around and started walking away, and he like lost
That's what I do to Farrah every day. That's the only way I get anywhere.
And that's actually how he left. But I mean, I was very loud. Wyatt was crying by the end. He was stomping and
you're
screaming.
just like, I hate my life. I hate my life.
But it really, like, honestly, it wasn't even embarrassing. It was more so just like,
awful.
This is life.
And you're just like, why can't anything be fun?
Yeah, like this is just truly like this is. I don't get embarrassed by those moments. Like I really don't.
I still do.
It truly is just like this is where I am. Like this is my life. This doesn't mean that I'm a bad mom. It doesn't mean that I have a bad kid. This is just the chaos that we live in. Yeah, and it's gonna be this way for the next probably 3 to 5 years. Yeah. So
well, on that note.
Feels good to be back.
Yeah, it feels good to be back.
It does feel good to be back.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Love y'all.
See ya. Bye.
Rock, rock, rock me, mama.